for any items for masterminding, and want to open it, but I have something if nobody else does.
I think deciding on schedules. Like we are going to meet with an in-home daycare provider today.
Ooh.
So at 5:30. And I've grown up with my mom having her own daycare, like in a center, like an early learning center, my whole life. I've always known, her as a director. Um, but I've always wanted a nanny, or to me, the next best thing is in home. And I've always been afraid of in home
Mhm.
because my like knowing my mom, like everyone, I mean, they're licensed and accredited, and there's checks and balances, and there's, all of that stuff. But just with COVID and with how close this in home is, and like just getting to know, like, Knox needs kids his age and friends, but not necessarily like all the thing, like it's just so we get to make a decision and ask questions and all of that, and tell my mom. We haven't told her yet that we're looking at. So the decision of, because we need parts of our life back.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
um so the decision of both being comfortable and feeling in our GPS, together and separately, that this is the right direction. And what does that look like? You know,
Yeah, what that makes me think of is that it's like sometimes we make decisions, we need to make a decision because something's uncomfortable in our life, right?
yes.
And we know we sometimes can sit with the discomfort too long because it gets
Yeah.
a little more uncomfortable until you
Yes.
can actually make the decision.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there's always this, it's almost like a relief once you make the decision, no matter what the decision is, like the decision, you know,
Yes.
gives you a sense of closure and you can always revisit the decision. But
Yes.
we could spend so much time in not making a decision. So I kind of heard that, with you, is like it was time to lean into this.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't want to dance around it anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's time, like I feel like, and Brian has said this, that I feel like all that I do is cook and change diapers, and cook and change diapers, and put
That is
down
so
for
not
bed.
true, but
And
okay.
yeah, I mean, that's, he's like, that's what I feel like I do. So I feel like it will bring more of a purpose too, that like I'm more than a, a caretaker for our son.
Yeah. Yeah.
My,
Oh, go ahead, Carol.
I was gonna say my godchild was an au pair in
Yeah.
France for a couple years with
Yeah.
families, and she still absolutely loves her
Yes.
families that she knew and lived
Yes.
Mhm.
with for a year at a
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I was a nanny for most of my life. And so in that, like, I know the love of that side of things. And so I'm like, yes, a nanny, but then more expensive, not the relationship with other kids too. So it's like, yeah.
Hmm.
well, you have the
Yeah.
expertise then to know
Yeah,
what to look for.
that's what I'm excited about. That I feel like we have the questions and we have the things to know for. And I mean, I was just talking to Brian, I'm like, we have to trust our GPS. Like, like, this is our son. Like,
Yes.
we've never done anything like this before. So
I love it.
yeah.
I have a question for you if we have time to mastermind at the end. So we'll come
Yeah.
back to that potentially. Let's stop this recording